Hey, what's up? It is DJ. Today we've got a new blog for Farming Simulator 25 talking about inclement weather and a bit of a storyline. There's also 16 screenshots to take a look at, most of which are new. However, I'll tell you which ones are new and which ones aren't, so don't worry. If you haven't pre-ordered Farm Sim 25 yet, check the link in the description for the base game as well as the year one bundle. Giants say in Riverbend Springs and multiple other locations around the world, the weather is predicted to change more often. As we look at darkening clouds in the sky, listening to the wind, the farmers closing in, one can notice clear signs that some weather is on the way. As we know, some wild weather is coming to Farming Simulator 25, released on November 12th. And today they have released a very interesting, weather report. If you guys want to go on the website, you can check it out for yourself, but I'll give you the basic gist and why it's important in the base game. Of course, as we have just recently found out, we will be getting twisters, and Giants are using the word twister, not tornado. It does appear as if we may get a warning ahead of time before any twisters touch down, as they're going through a whole weather report, which is kind of neat. They also say to take precautions and secure any unroofed bales just in case. Now, this is in reference to any bales that are uncovered. Maybe they're out in the field, or maybe they're stacked beside of a building. They will be damaged. I don't think they're going to be taken up and thrown into the air, but they will be damaged. Of course, we know that hail is also going to be accompanying the twisters, but Giants do say that the good news is, after a brief disturbance, the skies will clear up and the sun will be shining brightly once again. Now, bales are not the only thing that are going to be disturbed or damaged. As we also know, we're going to be getting some crop destruction, and some of the tops of trees will be taken off as well. In the mock weather report the Giant Software released, they did say that one of the farmers lost about half of his crops on a rather tiny plot, and all of his bales that were left out in the open. However, they do say that rather large fields got off lightly in comparison, so there may be another advantage to getting larger fields rather than a bunch of smaller ones. Now, one of the good things is we know we're going to be able to turn the tornadoes and the damage and stuff off, so if you don't want it, you don't have to have it. Giants also mentioned the fog, and I think they referenced how a lot of the community doesn't like it, as they say they interviewed a quote-unquote 72-year-old farmer reflecting on the shifting conditions, saying that he doesn't know where all the thick fog suddenly came from, probably brought in with the wind of change. I believe that's Giant Software saying, hey, this is what's happening now, so just get over it. And that's about it. I'm not quite sure if this is the last time we're going to be hearing about Riverbend Springs, as they do say that they'll be revisiting Riverbend Springs in November to see how the weather has impacted the local farming community. They say maybe you want to visit yourself and ask the locals some questions. Again, this is in reference to being able to talk to the NPCs, which is kind of cool. Hey, whoever at Giant Software thought it'd be a good idea to put together a weather report, this was super cool. Great job. Again, if you guys want to go check it out, I highly encourage you to do so. So then, it is time to talk about some screenshots. Again, 16 of them. You probably saw some returning ones there at the beginning of the video, and we're going to go over some new ones. So here we have the International. Oh, baby. As mentioned previously, this is the International TreadStar 2 Eagle, and it looks like it's pulling a Load King distinction, which was a base game piece of equipment in Farming Simulator 22, but I imagine a few things have probably changed. I think this is also the first time that we see anything on the Barge, so that's pretty cool. We did see a screenshot the other day showing that it did have a load limit, so I don't know if that's actually going to be a load limit in the game or not. There's also something misspelled on there that I totally missed. Speaking of, we've got some more boats in the background, or at least the one, and then we can see it's almost to its destination. Something else to note here is the reflections off of the water. Everything may be a little bit disturbed, especially with the rain coming down the way that it is. Of course, water is not still if it's being agitated so much, like with rain, so the water is very agitated right now. It's kind of cool, but we could still get a little bit of a glimpse of the reflections and things like that, so that is very, very neat. I wanted to look at the truck one more time. Man, this thing's beautiful. Next is our John Deere 9R. Now, this is something that we have seen quite a bit so far with teases for Farm Sim 25, but it is nice to see it once more. Now, I'm not quite sure what it is pulling on the very back or not. Trying to go into that. I can't really read what that says. It's probably a loading wagon or something like that. Again, in this screenshot, it is raining. I feel like it's been raining in all the screenshots the past few days. We've got the lights, which is also something that I definitely want to make sure that you see. Obviously, the light is only shining on what it's, well, pointed at. Now, Farming Simulator 17, 19, and 22 have kind of been interesting because lights go through everything. But it looks like that's not going to be the case. Also, you can kind of see in the very back on top of the wheel, on the top of those treads, the light is shining. However, on the bottom side of the treads, there is no light. So it's not just light everywhere for the sake of having light. One more chance to look at the sky from above. You can see there is a little bit of blue poking its head out, but not a whole lot going on there. It's just like some real nasty rain clouds coming in. Oof. Now, the next two screenshots are shots that we actually saw yesterday when I'm making this video. We're able to see the Massey Ferguson 9S with our player to character running and those ruts in the ground. And we also have this screenshot right here, which is something we've seen in multiple different posts now. This was used as a teaser, and then it was used again in other materials, and finally here as well. But why wouldn't you? Look at that, man, oh man. Our next screenshot is a new one. This is another look at the tornado. Now, obviously we can see here, everything is very like greenish intent. That's also one thing that I wanted to point out. Whenever I go through and make some of these screenshots and make the thumbnails for the videos, I've noticed that the green levels are really, really high. So I am just praying that whenever we get the final version of the game, everything's not like a greenish hue, because it looks awful when I use my filters to like enhance the pictures and make them look good. That being said, this looks pretty epic. You've got rain coming down. It looks like we've got hail mixed in as well, I believe. Of course, the tornado, or the twister rather, it's really hard to miss that, and all of the debris that it is flinging around. But remember, it's only going to be damaging your crop, some of the trees, and bales, but that's only if you've left them out and only if you've got this turned on. Next is another screenshot that we have already seen, so nothing wild and crazy with this one, but we do have another shot of the tornado. Again, very heavy-handed with the tornadoes, but I guess like the whole topic over the past few days has been about the twisters, so naturally they would show it off. There's fog low-laying as well. I love how they put that in the blog, that they were like, oh yeah, get over the fog. That's what I felt like anyway. Again, not much really new to show off here. Just another shot at the twister, as they call it. One interesting thing is this is one shot where we can actually see through it, but it is still hailing. It might still be raining. I actually can't see any raindrops, or at least that I don't think I do. I don't know if there's anything on this water tower in the background. There might be something on there. However, the screenshot's not high enough quality for me to go all the way to it. And we've got some stop sign ahead, but that's about it. This is one that we've already seen yet again. This is the one where I said that the headlights on the car were hell in the last video. Definitely check that out, but we do get to see the Case Magnum. Beautiful tractor with the twister in the background destroying those trees. Here's a new screenshot. This is of, I believe, a little bit of crop damage, as this area of the crop, there's nothing there. Now, can't really zoom out. I wish that I could, but there's just a little bit of damage there. Now, it is hailing right now, and it is not a twister time. What is that? Twister time, baby. It is just hail coming down. So it looks like the hail is also going to be damaging our crop here ever slightly. Taking a look at some of the stuff in the background. We do have a couple buildings on the left-hand side. It looks like those signs are coming back. I can't really tell what that is for. Is that a one for the magazine, possibly? I think so. A couple smaller buildings. Building with a tank out front. Maybe a gas station or something like that. But unfortunately, none of the screens here give us an idea of what the buildings are. I think my computer just crashed. We're good. It just doesn't like zooming into that building, so I guess we'll move on. Now, here's one that is super duper cool. We get to see more equipment, we get to see another building, and of course, it is hailing. But not just that. Of course, over here we have the case. I think this is a Maxim. It doesn't look quite like it's a Puma, at least the front end's not big enough for it. We do have the Rudolph trailers coming back, so that is great to see. Got a water tower up at the top right, and at the top left, we've got a new barn. Now, we have not seen this barn before, so that is something very, very cool. And then also, look at the running water. Obviously, with this being a still image, we can't see much of it. but I want to so bad. Also, this gives us a really cool look at the road. Now, I've talked about the road previously, but look at this. It just kind of flows with the land. If I zoom out a lot, you can tell it just kind of flows with it. This was something brand new coming with Farming Simulator 25, and maybe one of the things I'm most excited about is a road. Also, way off into the distance out here, we've got what looks to be like a small town or maybe a small little area, and then there's a sign down at the bottom, but I can't tell what that sign says. Again, because the screenshot's just too low quality and we're zooming in way too much. If you missed the twister, well, don't worry, it is back, and it is back with a vengeance. It is currently hailing around. I don't know if it's raining. I can't see any rain on the screen. And we also have a lot of crop destruction going on. I mean, look at this, this poor field, man. I don't know if that's because of the twister. I don't know if it's because of the hail. This kind of looks a little bit too sporadic to be twister damage. Maybe there's that. Also, we can see damage in this other field as well. And almost like there's a pathway to the left of the twister showing where maybe it was. I don't know if that's that, or maybe it's just low-lying fog. Nonetheless, we also get to see their clouds, which are a little bit more interesting than I think people would probably want to see them in this screenshot. It looks just fine, but maybe a little bit more realistic, or maybe they're moving so quickly that there's a few artifacts. I have tried to go in and like auto AI enhance some of these images so they'd be a little bit bigger, but I ended up giving up on that because there were just way too many artifacts. So I hope that we're not seeing the same thing here. We do have stuff flying all around, of course, debris with hail as well. The debris is just coming from nothing. It is what it is. So the debris in the twister is not from anything. But of course, the calm after the storm. Nice and beautiful. And again, very green. And it's almost a tint of orangish green. I guess real life is like that, huh? We've got fog with God rays coming through the trees. Again, very lushness in the trees with the two-sidedness versus being just single-sided textures. We've got a nice crop down here as well. If we zoom in, you can't really see a whole lot. It looks maybe like right there. Yeah, it looks good there. Also, the grass here is different than the grass that we saw in the pastures with the animals the other day. So that's something to point out as well. Another shot of kind of some wooded areas. It seems to be about the same time of day as it was for the previous screenshot. We've got a lot of greenery here, a lot of lushness, tons of different kinds of greens. We've got things that are growing on the ground flat, things that are growing up, different grasses, bushes. Some of the bushes are brown, some are green, and of course the different trees in the background as well. And you can't miss that barn. I mean, come on now. It's a good looking barn right there. Everything else looks good too. Again, the clouds are basically the same as they were in the previous screenshot, so I don't know if there's anything new to talk about there. We do get to see some destruction though. So this is a shot from, I guess, the wooded area on the outside of one of the fields, as we've got sunflowers growing down there. Looks like the tornado may still be in the air. I think maybe that's the tornado on the other side of the tree line here, but we could see these trees that have just been demolished. They did refer to these as dead trees in the blog, so maybe these, along with other trees, will then be changed and considered to be dead trees. And I don't know what happens if you just let them grow. I do know that you will not be able to cut these down with a logging machine, at least as of right now, because we did an interview with Kermit recently and he answered those questions for us. Now, I'll tell you this, you can still cut them down, use a chainsaw, you're good to go. Is there anything else that I'm missing in this screenshot? Maybe this green barn back in the back of the woods, but other than that, I can't see anything else new or different. Hey, do you? Let me know. One of our last screenshots is this one right here. It is just nice, beautiful. It is calming and looks great. But there's one thing that I want to zoom in on. Do you see that artifact dead center of the screen? I don't know if that's a bush or if that is a player character. That almost looks like a player character. And it's about the same size. Oh, maybe it's Bigfoot. Or is it K-Bot? It's one of those. We can see the God rays through here. It's a very beautiful field. I'm assuming that this is wheat. And then the clouds, again, exactly the same as they were in the previous shot. We do have a bird flying over here. So again, birds are returning. Get out of here, birds. If you want to buy the t-shirt, link down below. Otherwise, yeah, there's really not much else to talk about here. It is beautiful. And I think I might set this picture right here as my computer background. I might just do it. Nah, never mind. It's this one. This is the one right here, actually, or the 9R. I don't know. These are all so good. This is our last screenshot. Is another picture of our sunflowers, which came brand new to Farming Simulator. I think 17. Is that right? Was it sunflowers and soybeans? I think were brand new crops for Farming Simulator 17 base game. Hey, let me know if I'm wrong. I probably am. Again, here, not a lot of new stuff to see. Obviously, we have the sun shining through the clouds, making everything very, very radiant. Off into the distance, we can see some more signs. Maybe that's the exact same sign that we saw previously, as that road does kind of flow the way we saw it. And that building way up on the edge, which I can't zoom in anymore, kind of looks like what we've seen before. We do have some more like houses and things up through here. So I'm convinced that this picture was the same one as one of the previous ones that were taken way over there. Either way, absolutely beautiful landscape. What do you guys think? Do you like this? Do you not like it? What would you change? Would you add anything? Or is it beautiful the way it is? Let me know. And that is it. There's nothing else in the blog to talk about, as it was really just a weather forecast at the end of the day. So do you think I missed anything? Was there anything else that you wanted to see more of? Hey, let me know down in the comment section below. I'm going to be taking your ideas and doing a, hey, here's some things you may have missed with Farming Simulator, or maybe a video that just calls me out saying, hey, here's some stuff that I missed. I don't know if I want to do that or not. Regardless, Farming Sim 25 is going to be available on Tuesday, November 12th, 2024. It's going to be PC, Mac, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series. If you still haven't pre-ordered yet and you want to, well, now's a great time to do that. Check the link in the description, which you can pre-order the base game or the year one bundle. If you have any questions, let me know what those are, and check out the other videos that are on screen now for more Farming Sim 25 coverage, and there's a lot of it. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you later.